After a long break on YouTube, at least with uploading. Sorry about that. Here's some figures for this video. Here's a series for World War II Resistance Fighter. It'll focus. Focus. There we go. That's better. But the only complaint with this figure is why did they make this stand the way they did? And why did the golfer hat have to be replaced with a beret on the figure? Does I have played Call of Duty World War II? Probably my least favorite campaign. You guys let me know what your least favorite Call of Duty campaign was, along with your favorite. My favorite was Black Ops. Most of you guys know it was the only one set in the Vietnam War. And really one of the only ones to be set during the Cold War. Because it was kind of set during the Vietnam War and the Cold War. Like the Hudson missions were the Cold War, and the Alex Mason missions were the Vietnam War. And I kind of love how they implement both into the campaign. But I feel like they focus more on the Vietnam War. Focus. Oh, that's kind of weird. It'll focus. That's better. But I like how they did the vest on him. And this little elbow pad thing. I think it's an elbow pad, but it came with it like the more over here. Where I'm kind of using it as an elbow pad on the figure. I think that's what it's supposed to be. And that's not on him in-game. Either. But the little focus. The little resistance patch on his arm is in game. And he has like some medical tape on his hands. In the game as well. But the little like satchel on his side looks like a little ammo thing. Kind of like from the Revolutionary War. Which is kind of a cartridge box. Kind of looks like that. But longer. About the length for some Sten mags. I'll focus on the Sten. About the length for some Sten mags, like extended mags for the Sten. About that length. Here's the Series 4 Jungle Infantry. Probably my favorite in Series 4, but not my favorite Heroes figure. He has my favorite Heroes figure. Probably gotta be Makarov. Unless because Makarov was really the only villain figure for the Heroes line until they released the Shadow Company figure for Series 5. But here's the trick. Which I already said that. And why does it have the cargo pants on it? Because I don't think they used cargo pants in Vietnam. Correct me if I was incorrect with that in the comments. But I think they started using cargo pants in Desert Storm. Like around the time of Desert Storm. And I like how they did the shirt. Not the get the and the bullet chain as well. I like how they did the shirt. They did it on the back and the front. There's the arm. I like how they did that. But did they use cargo pants in Desert Storm? Because I think that's when they started using cargo pants. It's either in Desert Storm or shortly after Desert Storm. At least I think it was around the time. I think it was around the time of Desert Storm. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, they were still using like World War II style pants, just like plain green. Same with the shirts. But some soldiers did have the camo shirts in the Vietnam War. But it was just mostly like the green. Just the plain olive green. Drab. Same with the pants. With black boots, which I do give them credit for the black boots. At least. And the camo shirt. And the beard on the figure. And the helmet. I do like how they did the helmet. I think they did a pretty good job on the helmet. And the M16. But I wish it was all black. I honestly wish it was all black. I just think that would have looked better on him. And would have looked more authentic if it was like an all black M16A1. At least I think this one's supposed to be an A1. Correct me if I'm wrong. What this M16 looks like an M16A1. Even though the M16 and M16A1 pretty much look the same except different flash hiders. But this kind of looks like an A1 birdcage flash hider on it. I'll focus. But yeah, it kind of looks like an M16A1 birdcage flash hider. That was really the only difference when it came to cosmetics I think of the original M16 and the M16A1, just the flash hider. No real difference other than that. But different in the fact that they had different fire modes. So if it's the M16A1, I would think that this figure is sometime from 1969 to 1975, when the Vietnam War ended. From sometime, kind of in that time frame, since I think it's an A1. That's the original M16. I would think from basically the beginning of the Vietnam War to 1969, or when they start issuing M16s for the M16A1. Because I think there was kind of a little break from all ARs at the time for a short period of time between the M16 and M16A1 for the M60. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think there was, and mostly just M60s. Two of the most used guns in the Vietnam War, along with the 1911 and the AK-47. I think this figure looks pretty good, though. Baseplate looks amazing in my opinion. Surprisingly, just a plain brown, like mud. But I wish there was like a little bit of green in there for grass, or made it look more swampy, like the actual Vietnam. Going off of what I've seen in Platoon, which I would recommend watching Platoon. It's a really good movie. Because in Platoon, Vietnam looked more swampy than it did in some of the areas in Blackouts. In Blackouts, some of the areas were almost like a desert, at least in the one mission in Black Ops. Can't forget the name of it, but it's the mission where they played Fortunate Son by Train Square Water Revival. Probably my favorite Vietnam song. But that one was one of the... But that's the mission I'm talking about. Where it looked almost like a desert. But this almost looks like a proper Vietnam soldier. Just replace the pants with just some plain olive green pants or camo, like the shirt. And it will look more like an actual Vietnam soldier. Like an actual soldier in Vietnam. I like how they did the beard. And they actually did like some hair under the helmet. Which I do give them credit for that. Like actually doing hair under the helmet instead of just doing it like just plain, like just skin under that helmet. I get the helmet on. Set the camera down real quick. Sorry about that. But there's the figure again with the helmet, with just the World War II helmet. That does look like an actual helmet from Vietnam, which they did use World War II helmets in the Vietnam War and the Korean War. Pretty much they were just issued from World War II all the way to 1979. with the helmet. And this helmet, I think, should be in more of the Vietnam sets. Even though they're just labeled as the jungle sets. But they're clearly like Vietnam War sets. Because none of them really look like Korean War. They really only see that because of the guns in those sets. Like the M16 or M16A1, depending on which one you think it is. But I think it's an A1. I think it's the M16A1. There's that figure. And here's this figure. The Arctic Ranger. With what I think is an AKM. Or AK-47. Depending on what you think it is. You let me know in the comments. You guys let me know in the comments what you think it is. But I think it's an AKM. This figure looks pretty good, in my opinion. The pants look nice. Looks a lot like something from the mission WND from Blackouts. And I've used the belt as a scabbard for his ice picks. Which this figure also came with some snow tracks. Here's the snow tracks. Two different snow tracks, but you get my point. Where one kind of looks like bear claws. Focus. But yeah, one looks like bear claws. And then the other looks like something for water skiing. Here's the figure again. And the figure has two like binocular type things for what I would assume the airstrikes. Just going off of Modern Warfare, as they're called, spotter scopes in it. But I'm just gonna call them spotter scopes because of Modern Warfare. And there are airstrikes in it. At least in the first mission, Fog of War. Which honestly is probably one of the best intros to a game, in my opinion. At least in the Call of Duty series. I prefer the Assassin's Creed 2 beginning. Where it's kind of a recap of the entire series up to that point. Which was just Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2. And then the next figure that I'm going to show off is probably going to be a little controversial. Let me get the base plate back on real quick. The base plate's always falling off. This one's not really controversial. But here's the Suicide Bomber figure that I made a few weeks ago. Kind of based it off of Modern Warfare from the opening cinematic. And I just kind of did like a lucky guess with the front and the glasses. Just kind of based it off of like an assumption of what they would look like. And also just kind of like opinion on how I think an actual Suicide Bomber would look like. And they kind of come in different looks. But these figures probably would never be made in the actual sets. Sadly. But would be a good get in the sets. In my opinion. Also made a little detonator for him. By just kind of cutting off the entire front of one of the receivers. And applying some paint to it on the top with a Sten barrel and front sight. painting that black as well. And just basically super gluing it to it. Also added a knee pad to the face for a face mask. Just added that to it. Kind of got that idea from Reddit. On the Mega Construx subreddit. I think it turned out pretty well. Also gave it a Model 10 revolver from the World War II sets. Which is also in, which is only featured on, one or two of the modern or Vietnam sets. You guys let me know if it was in any of the modern or Vietnam sets. I just recognize it from the World War II sets. Yeah, I'll deal with that. And here's a UNSC Marine. Looks pretty good, in my opinion. Looks like the Halo 4 Marine. But not really one of my favorite Halo games. Because my favorite Halo game has always been Halo 3 ODST. And it's always been ODST as my favorite. You guys let me know in the comments what your favorite Halo game was. I guess. And here's a mercenary with a Galil on his, with a Galil on his side. Galil, however you want to pronounce it. Kind of like a tomato type thing, but I'm just gonna pronounce it as Galil. This is the guy that created it, Galili. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Galili. And it's gonna pronounce it Galili. And an MP5K in his hand. I think I did a pretty good job on the MP5K. You guys let me know if I did a good job or not on it. But personally, I think I did a good job on the MP5K. Same with the Galil. Also did one of the road pouches on the legs. On one of the leg straps from the World War II sets. Also got it in one of the modern sets. And here's a canteen, one of the World War II canteens. Honestly, I like this design for the canteen more than the old canteen from the earlier on sets. Very, very early on. Like some of the very first sets. Where it was just the canteen and not like this. This was a good design of a canteen in my opinion. For the sets. The earlier canteen was just this, but take out the little ridges. Make it all smooth. None of the little buttons right there. None of that. Take out the smooth detailing. Take out the ridges and just make it smooth. Also did a mercenary scarf thing on him from one of the newer sets. At least the color of it. Looks pretty good, in my opinion. And then here's a surprise figure. A figure of me. but just kind of a cooler version of me, pretty much. Like a Nerf loadout, wearing a plate carrier for some reason. There's a MR6 that's supposed to be a Maverick, and a Stampede ECS that I made. Because I like how the Stampede turned out on it, and the shirt as well. Kind of like how it all turned out. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. No, that's the video. Just basically tell me what your favorite figure was in this video. My favorite figure of this video was probably either the Jungle Infantry or the Arctic Ranger. Just, and I also changed my YouTube channel name to Ruby45, just to kind of make it sound cooler in my opinion. So if you see a name change, that's why. Just like and subscribe. Tell me what your favorite figure was and all that good stuff. Kind of cliched in my opinion, but there you go. And thanks for getting 10 subscribers. Kind of cliched as well. I was saying thanks for getting to a certain milestone of subscribers. Because honestly, I didn't think that 10 subscribers was going to be possible, because I was kind of stuck on 8 subscribers for a little bit. But we got there. Ruby up.